I have been obsessed for quite some time, in fact many a year, with the concept of finding a way to earn passive income that is genuinely going to lead not only to my financial freedom, but to allow me to live my life in the way that I want to live it. But over those years, it's honestly felt like looking for a needle in a haystack, and I have looked through many a haystack. But today's video is going to tell you about the needle that I have found and what I truly believe is my key to passive income and long-term wealth. So without further ado, let's go.
Living life every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need.
Come on in, my dearest friend, and take a seat around my table as always. But today we are going to get straight into this video. I have a lot to say about this and I want to get down to it very quickly. But I will say, as I always do in my videos, I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, and I especially want to emphasize this for this video. I'm going to be sharing a lot of content about what is considered a very risky subject, so please do your own research. Now today I want to talk to you about a project that I am in that has potentially three what could be incredible ways to earn passive income. Now, before we get into the details, I just want to say a few very brief things that kind of underline the whole video but are important to say at this point. So the first thing to make clear is that this is about a project in the crypto space, and my audience is not only for those that know about crypto, but also those that don't, or maybe coming to this video new and know nothing about crypto. If you're in that latter position, that was me probably 18 months ago, I would say just watch this video. This isn't about how to get into the project and all of that, but this could give you a flavour of the potential opportunities in this project and may then lead you to start researching how to get into crypto. So please do persevere, keep with it. Let's go on to the next point. So the second point, and following on from that, is recognizing that because this is in the crypto space, there is A, lot of risk, but B, a lot of unknowns. And primarily in this video, the two unknowns are the price of the coin that I will be talking about, and secondly, the volume of activity around that coin. And of course, they are unknowns. Nobody can predict. There's lots of modeling going on around this project, and so we have an idea of where we think this could go. But for the sake of this video, what I'm going to do is take each of the three potential ways to earn passive income, and I'm going to give 4 different scenarios, or modeling if you like, for each of those 3 ways to earn passive income. And the 4 different perspectives, I guess, are going to be 1, quite pessimistic, 2, kind of middle of the road, the project's doing okay but it's not doing amazing, 3, optimistic, it's probably doing very well, and 4, let's call it fantasy project. Actually, it's not fantasy, because the 4th option, let's say it's very optimistic, but still, I believe, well within the realms of reality for what this project can achieve. So I'm not going completely fantasy. I'm not going, well, it might happen, but who knows? I'm saying this may happen, it may not, but it's quite a realistic perspective to say that this could happen. And the final point before we get into the detail is just to give you a tiny overview of what this project is. As I said, this video is not about this project per se, it's about how you can earn passive income from this project. So if you want more details about the project, I will give you some links down below to the website, to the light paper, which will give you more overview of the tokenomics, etc. But this is about the passive income streams. And to say that the project that I'm talking about is the Vulcan Blockchain, which has not launched yet. It's due to go to testnet on the 1st of March, and then depending on how that goes, will be looking to launch the mainnet at some point in Q2, so before the end of June. But what I do want to say is that this is a revolutionary blockchain. It is not the same as any other blockchain that you have seen, and it's revolutionary and unique because of the 3 ways that you can potentially earn passive income from it, which you will not see in any other blockchain. And that does not include the price fluctuations, which of course you can gain profit from, as you can with any other coin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever. You can buy and sell, and with the free market, the price goes up and down. That is the same with the Vulcan coin. What I'm talking about in this video are the 3 very unique ways in which you can earn passive income. So the first method of passive income is through something called a fixed reward. And the fixed reward actually is a bundle of 3 terms that are auto staking, auto rebasing, and auto compounding. Auto staking means you hold the coin in your wallet. You do not stake it with a third party or the protocol. You hold the coin in your wallet. Auto rebasing, every 15 minutes or epoch, you will receive a rebase on the amount of Vulcan that you hold, and that is to the tune of 44% APR, which works out across 24 hours at approximately 0.12%. That's the increase you will get every day for holding Vulcan in your wallet. And thirdly, auto compounding, the amount of rebase will increase as your Vulcan increases within your wallet. So actually the 44% APR is realistically about 55% APY because of the auto compounding that will happen. So let's just hop in and take a look at what this might look like across the 4 potential scenarios that I've already mentioned. Now, in order to do this, I'm using what is an incredible tool that has been created and developed by UK Shepsky, who is one of the Vulcan Blockchain community members. And he has put this together for use whether you're a Vulcan investor or not. So it's open for you to use, and I will link it down below. But a big shout out to Shepsky because he has done a phenomenal job in allowing us to kind of model what might happen in the future, and I use it all the time. It's fantastic. Go take a look. But here it is, let's dive on in. And for the sake of this example, I'm using 1,000 Vulcan coins. Now, just to mention, for any transaction on the Vulcan blockchain, whether that's a buy, sell, or a transfer, there is a 5% tax. So in order to buy 1,000 Vulcan, if you don't already have Vulcan, on launch, you would need to get in right at the beginning. Vulcan is being launched at $9 a coin. So 1,000 Vulcan would cost you actually about $9,475 in order to get 1,000 Vulcan. Now, obviously, you might not want to buy that much, you might not hold that much, but I thought 1,000 was a nice round number. If you hold 100, for example, you can then just divide all of the outcomes that I'm talking about here by 10, and that will give you a feel for what 100 Vulcan will look like. So that's my starting point. So if you look at this, you can manipulate this calculation a few ways. You can change the amount of days that you have held Vulcan, and it covers 365 days in the first instance. And you can also change the price of Vulcan. So let's look at, if we held 1,000 Vulcan for the next 365 days, you would end up with 1,552 Vulcan in your wallet. Again, without moving it out, without staking it anywhere, just holding it in your wallet. Now let's look at 4 different price points. So let's start with the pessimistic one to begin with. Let's move the slider down to Vulcan being $5.80. Now, I've done that because when you look at it, after 365 days, this is the break-even point if you hold 1,000 Vulcan, or actually if you hold any amount of Vulcan. So at the price point of $5.80, you will still break even. So you won't be at a loss, you won't be at a gain, you will break even on your initial investment. But that's quite a pessimistic view. I don't think there's many in the community that feel like we are going to go even below $9, but we have to put all of this out there. Let's look at the second scenario, which is more optimistic. Let's look at Vulcan being $40 at the end of 365 days. Your initial investment will now be worth $62,000. But let's look at another, let's move that slider up to $100 per Vulcan coin, which, you know, the community thinks is very doable. Your initial investment will now be worth $155,000. And finally, let's look at maybe more of an optimistic view, but again, very realistic, with Vulcan being at the $300 mark. And you would then be able to sell your Vulcan for over $465,000. So 4 different examples there of the price point of Vulcan. And I would say that some in the community, many in the community would say that even a price of $300 after a year is highly conservative. But I'm trying to keep this as real as I possibly can. I don't want to inflate and do mad things. I want to keep this real and on the more pessimistic side, I guess, in order to be realistic. So that's the first way of potentially earning passive income by holding Vulcan in your wallet. What I would recognize, of course, is you will only get those gains if you hold the Vulcan in your wallet. Once you start selling, then of course your compounding and rebasing capacity will decline. So in many ways, yes, this is a way of growing your wealth, but it's more long-term rather than perhaps a daily or a monthly income. But don't you worry, because we're going to get onto that in our second method. So the second method of earning passive income through Vulcan is something called the Flex reward. Now let's just go back to the fact that every transaction on the blockchain will carry with it a 5% tax. And 20% of that 5% will be fed into something called the Flex pool. And of course, the Flex pool will be very dependent, completely dependent on the amount of volume that takes place on the blockchain in any 24 hours. And every 24 hours, you will have the opportunity to claim your part of that Flex pool, and it will be pulled down into your wallet. And the amount that you can claim is directly linked to the proportion of the total circulating supply that you own. So the more you own, the more of the Flex you can pull down. Again, there's a huge unknown in this, and it will vary from day to day how much volume there is on the blockchain. But let's dive in and take a look at what it might look like. So again, I'm using a starting point of 1,000 Vulcan coins. But for these examples, I'm going to pretend that we've been in the project for 90 days. So you have 90 days worth of compound and rebase in your wallet, and the blockchain has been established for 3 months. And so, you know, we have projects coming on board, and the potential is that the volume could be really ramping up. But let's look at what this looks like. So we've been in it for 90 days, and the volume is quite a pessimistic $50 million on one particular day. On a day like that, you would pull down potentially just over $22 of the Flex pool. That will be, if we average that across the month, that would be $676. And across the year, if we did that average on every day, that would be just over $8,000. Let's look at more volume though, and again, still conservative, $200 million worth of volume. So on a day like that, you would receive just over $89. Across a month of average days like that, it would be over $2,700. And across the year, you're looking at almost $32,500. Let's move that scale up again to a day of 500 million worth of volume, and on a day like that you would be able to pull down $222 worth of Flex Across the month of average days like that, you'd be looking at just over $6,700, and across the year, you're looking at $81,230. And then let's play slightly fantasy, but again, absolutely within the realms of possibility. Let's look at a day of 800 million worth of volume. And on a day like that, you would be able to pull down $356 worth. Across a month of average days like that, you'd be looking at over $10,800 worth. And across the year, you've got a lovely $129,962. So 2 things very quickly to say about that, in that you will, although I've talked about dollars there, you will receive those flex rewards in Vulcan. So depending on the price of Vulcan on that day will depend on how many Vulcan you receive into your wallet, depending on the price. But also to say that there is a contingency, there is a criteria that you have to meet in order to be eligible to pull down that flex. And although this is about passive income, you do have one thing to do in order to be entitled to this benefit, and that is to make a claim every single day, every single 24 hours. You will have to go online, press a claim button, and pay a very small gas fee. And I mean, it will be cents, you know, it will be dollars, it will be a very small amount. But if you do not make that claim, you will not receive the flex. So in fact, this passive income will be 100% passive, because you will have to dedicate 2 or 3 minutes, no, 1 minute of your time every day to benefit from this reward. And just to say that you are able to pull those flex rewards out if you like and change them into fiat, normal money, or you could hold them and you could keep them in your wallet, and they will, going back to the first method of passive income, they will build your amount of Vulcan that you have in your wallet, and so you will benefit in the long term from the auto staking, auto rebasing and auto compounding facility of Vulcan. So it's a win-win. And the more Vulcan you have, the bigger the flex will be that you can pull down. It's like, it's all interlinked. It's very exciting. So let's move on to the third potential stream of passive income. And actually it builds on the second one in something called the power pool. Now we've just gone through the fact that you claim every day in order to pull down the flex reward. If you do that every single day for a full month, for 30 days or whatever that month is, you will be eligible to also claim from the power pool. Now, the power pool is an accumulation of the previous month's worth of flex that hasn't been claimed. So, although I am definitely going to claim my flex every single day, there will be many investors that don't. And all of that amount will snowball into a wallet that will also rebase. And at the end of that month, every single person that has been disciplined and claimed their flex every day will be entitled to also pull down from this, what could be a humongous wallet full of Vulcan. Now, there will be a 5% fee to pay on the big power pool. So anything you pull down, you will only receive 95% of what you're entitled to. But it works the same way as the daily flex reward, in that you will pull down from that big pool your percentage worth of Vulcan that you own. So again, the bigger amount of Vulcan you own, the better that payment will be. So again, let's jump into the calculator and just model what this might look like. And of course, this is absolutely contingent on people forgetting to pull down, not knowing about the claim that they do need to do every day. And it's such an unknown. We don't know how many people are going to claim and how many aren't. So this is complete guesswork. But let's play with the calculator and see what happens. So again, we are taking 1,000 Vulcan coins as the wallet amount. So what we need to do here is just play with how many dollars worth of Vulcan we think will be in that power pool at the end of the month. So how many people have forgotten to claim? We don't know, but let's play with it. Let's go with $5 million worth of Vulcan. And in that case, you would be allowed to pull down on that final day $189 worth of Vulcan. Let's increase it though. Let's say there's $20 million worth of Vulcan in that pool. You can then pull down approximately $758. Let's ramp it up further and look at $50 million worth of Vulcan in that wallet. And you will be able to pull down just below $1,900 on that particular day. And finally, again, let's push it up further. You know, the volume is massive on the blockchain, but equally there's a lot of people that aren't claiming. And let's look at $100 million worth of Vulcan that's accumulated and rebased in that wallet. And on that particular day, you will be looking at pulling down approximately $3,800 worth of Vulcan. So a huge amount of unknowns in this particular potential passive income stream, but also massive potential, especially if some of the bigger wallets miss claiming, and all of their misclaim goes into this pool. And it should be said that you lose eligibility for this particular stream if you miss one claim during the month. So going back to passive income stream number 2, the daily flex, you have to claim that every day. If you do that, then you will be eligible for this third stream of passive income. And again, you could pull this out, or you could continue to build the Vulcan in your wallet and so increase the value of your Vulcan, increase your rebase in your auto compounding, and build your long-term wealth rather than take it out regularly. It's completely up to you. So they are the 3 potential ways that you can earn passive income with the Vulcan coin on the Vulcan blockchain. The first one, no intervention needed from you at all, you just hold Vulcan. And the second 2, requiring you to, yes, go in and do a daily activity that is gonna take you, I would say, 2 minutes absolute tops. So not strictly passive income, but good Lord, who wouldn't want to just go in and claim if the rewards are as I've said? So really, I hope that's given you some insight into the potential of what I believe is going to be a massive opportunity. Yes, it's crypto, it's DeFi in crypto. There are massive risks and unknowns, but I hope this video has given you a little bit of an insight into what could potentially happen, and at least encouraged you, if you're not into Vulcan, if you don't know about Vulcan, if you're not into crypto, please take this as the starting point, because I would literally hate you to miss out on what I believe is a life-changing opportunity. So I'm going to leave it there, my friend. I want to say thank you so much for watching this video. If you're unclear what to do next in terms of Vulcan, there are many videos out there for you to look at, but as I said, I will link below and some useful things that you can at least start your research. But I am going to go. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you on my next video. And if you are a Vulcan investor, I will say, as I always do, my dear Vulcans, live long in prosperity. But for now, cheers.
Living life, every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days.